power is easy to understand when one person is in charge. Bitcoin became extraordinary because no one was. Imagine Apple without Steve Jobs, Microsoft without a CEO, or a country with no government. It sounds impossible. Yet Bitcoin has operated for years without a leader. No president, no board, no headquarters. But in 2017, that strength became its greatest challenge. A disagreement over a single technical rule pushed the Bitcoin community to the edge of civil war. Developers fought developers. Miners challenged developers. Businesses chose sides. Millions of users watched, wondering whether Bitcoin itself would survive. This wasn't just an argument about computer code. It was a battle to answer one question: who really controls Bitcoin? By 2015, Bitcoin had become far more popular than anyone expected. Thousands of new users were joining every day. Transactions increased dramatically. For the first time, Bitcoin's 1 megabyte block limit became a real problem. Blocks filled up. Transactions waited longer. Fees became more expensive. Some users waited hours, sometimes even days, for confirmation. Businesses that wanted Bitcoin to become everyday money became frustrated. They believed the solution was obvious: simply make the blocks bigger. More space, more transactions, lower fees, faster payments. On paper, it looked like common sense. But Bitcoin had never been governed by common sense alone. A technical problem was about to become Bitcoin's greatest political conflict. Soon, two completely different visions for Bitcoin emerged. One group believed Bitcoin should become digital cash for the entire world: everyday payments, fast transactions, low fees. Their solution was simple: increase the block size. The other group saw a hidden danger. Larger blocks would require more powerful computers, more storage, better internet connections. Over time, fewer people would be able to run a full node. If that happened, Bitcoin could slowly become centralized. They believed decentralization was Bitcoin's greatest invention, and once lost, it could never truly be recovered. Neither side believed they were destroying Bitcoin. Both believed they were saving it. What began as a technical discussion quickly became something much larger. Developers published competing proposals. Miners announced public support for different solutions. Exchanges prepared for multiple possible outcomes. Companies invested millions of dollars lobbying for the future they believed in. Online forums became battlefields. Social media turned into daily arguments. Conferences that once united the Bitcoin community now exposed deep divisions. Every announcement was analyzed. Every tweet sparked new debates. Every software update became controversial. For the first time in Bitcoin's history, there wasn't just one vision of the future. There were two. Both sides claimed to protect Satoshi Nakamoto's original idea. Both believed history would prove them right. Neither side was willing to surrender. The conflict had become impossible to ignore. Eventually, one side decided to stop arguing and change Bitcoin forever. On August 1st, 2017, the disagreement reached its breaking point. Instead of convincing the other side, part of the community chose a different path. They created a new blockchain, a permanent split. From that moment forward, there would no longer be only one Bitcoin network. Bitcoin Cash was born. Supporters believed they were preserving Bitcoin as fast, low-cost digital cash. Others believed they had abandoned the very principle that made Bitcoin unique. Suddenly, every Bitcoin holder owned coins on two separate blockchains. Two currencies, two communities, two competing visions, yet both shared the same history, right up until the moment they separated. But something unexpected happened after the split. At first, many believed Bitcoin Cash would eventually replace Bitcoin. It offered larger blocks, lower transaction fees, faster payments, everything businesses had asked for. Meanwhile, Bitcoin continued developing another approach. Technologies like segregated witness, followed later by the Lightning Network, aimed to improve scalability without dramatically increasing block sizes. The market watched closely. Over time, users, developers, businesses, and investors made their choice. Bitcoin remained the dominant network. Bitcoin Cash continued as a separate cryptocurrency, with its own community and goals. The war had ended, but the lesson would last far longer than the conflict itself. The biggest surprise wasn't who won, it was how the decision was made. Most technologies are governed by people. Companies answer to executives. Governments answer to elected officials. Organizations answer to leadership. Bitcoin is different. No single developer can rewrite the rules. No miner can force the network to accept changes. No exchange decides Bitcoin's future. Every participant has influence, but no participant has absolute control. During the block size war, developers proposed ideas. Miners signaled support. Businesses made public statements. Exchanges prepared for different outcomes. Yet in the end, Bitcoin's future was determined by millions of independent decisions. Node operators chose which software to run. Users decided which chain to trust. Markets reflected those choices. There was no election, no courtroom, no final authority, only voluntary consensus. That is both Bitcoin's greatest strength and its greatest challenge. Looking back, it is tempting to ask a simple question: who won the block size war? But history suggests a better question. What did Bitcoin prove? It proved that a global monetary network could survive one of the most controversial disagreements in its history, without a president, without a CEO, without a government deciding the outcome. The conflict was painful. Friendships ended. Communities divided. Millions of dollars were at stake. Yet Bitcoin continued producing blocks every 10 minutes, exactly as designed. The block size war was never just about 1 megabyte. It was about trust, about governance, about whether decentralized systems can solve their biggest disagreements without centralized power. History has not answered every question, but it answered one. Bitcoin's greatest innovation was never just the blockchain. It was proving that consensus can exist without a king. And perhaps that is the most revolutionary idea of all. Power created Bitcoin's biggest crisis. Consensus became its greatest victory.